It's good to be with you. Warm welcome to you. Two news stories. Firstly, Ethiopian Navy making preparations to gain access to the sea through Somaliland. Preparations in full swing amid speculation that Ethiopia might rescind the deal. But today's development from Bahir Dar indicates that Ethiopian Navy uh, is ready. It is making preparations backed by the government to reach the coastal areas of Somaliland. Secondly, Million March in Somalia. In Somalia, we have been seeing protests against Ethiopia-Somaliland MOU signed almost a week ago. Now, preparations underway for a big protest. When? Who will participate? Who is behind the protest? Details for you a little later in this video. Firstly, viewers, Ethiopia, landlocked country which has signed a controversial MOU with Somaliland, self-declared country, rejected by Somalia, which has claims to Somaliland. Since we are seeing criticism, threatening statements from Somalia about the MOU, so it is being speculated that Ethiopia might not press ahead with this MOU. Ethiopia might rescind this MOU. So, how is the mood in Ethiopia, in Ethiopian Navy, Ethiopian military? Are preparations ongoing? Is Ethiopian Navy fully prepared? Has the Navy been directed to make preparations to gain access to the sea through Somaliland? Well, today, a committee of Ethiopian House of Representatives, committee of parliamentarians, visited Bahir Dar. Bahir Dar is Amhara regional capital. And in Bahir Dar, there is Ethiopian naval headquarters situated as well. The committee had several MPs. The committee members arrived in Bahir Dar. They were welcomed and briefed by top Ethiopian Navy officers. The Navy officers, and then a statement was issued by the House of Representatives. The statement mentions the MOU between Ethiopia and Somaliland. The statement says that Navy is fully prepared to implement the MOU, preparations ongoing. And the members of House in this meeting with Navy officers showed full support from political side to back the Navy. That anything which Navy wants in terms of financial resources will be provided by the government. And the naval officer who briefed the politicians, government officials, said that Navy has been upgrading its capabilities, and now Navy is making preparations to implement the MOU, which has given access to the Navy, Ethiopia Navy to the sea. By the way, it's just an MOU. I mean, it's not an agreement. It's not a deal. But the way Ethiopian government officials are congratulating, it's as if a deal has been signed. No deal has been signed so far, by the way. No agreement has been signed so far, just an MOU. What is the legal value of this MOU? Suppose Somaliland today withdraws from this MOU. I don't think Ethiopia can do anything. Ethiopia can do nothing. But preparations in Ethiopia indicate that Ethiopia fully convinced that, first of all, Somaliland won't withdraw, and secondly, that Ethiopia will press ahead with this controversial memorandum of understanding. So all speculations that Ethiopia might rescind the MOU, Ethiopia might back down, do not seem to be correct. It seems that Ethiopian government has told Navy and maybe army too, Ethiopian army, that they should be fully prepared, on alert. Anytime a directive can be issued, order can be issued, telling the Navy to go to the Somaliland coast. This is the mood, and Prosperity Party not withdrawing. These members of parliament are from Prosperity Party. They are behind their navy. Ethiopia has established a navy, though it has no access to sea. Those countries which have no access to sea have navies as well. Why? Because obviously these countries use ports. They have ships, so they need navy for the protection of their ships sometimes. Ethiopia using Djibouti's port. Ethiopian ships are there. So Ethiopia needs navy. But preparations in Bahir Dar in full swing. Navy fully prepared to gain access to the sea through Somaliland. Secondly, viewers, very important development from Somalia. We have been seeing protests in Somalia and Somaliland since the signing of controversial MOU between Ethiopia and Somaliland. Protests in Audal zone of Somaliland, in Brahma, in Boon. There were protests, maybe small protests in Lohaya as well. I could not confirm that. Protest in Barao to the east of Hargeisa in Somaliland. Protests in Somalia too, in several places. Big protest was held in Mogadishu a few days ago. Now a bigger protest, the biggest, is being planned for tomorrow. Million March. Somalia's government officials are calling this protest Million March. They want millions of people, tens of thousands of people to be part of this protest in Mogadishu on Thursday. Public is being mobilized to support Somalia's position to condemn Ethiopia-Somaliland memorandum of understanding. No one can object to this policy by Somalia. Somalia has every right to mobilize its people, but only thing is that provocative, hateful statements and remarks should be avoided. People to people relations should be peaceful and safe. Can Somalia's government manage to pull millions of people to the streets on Thursday? That remains to be seen. But the announcement of the rally indicates that Somalia is not backing down. In Ethiopia, in Bahir Dar, Ethiopian Navy making preparations, as I said earlier. Politicians visiting the naval headquarters, telling the Navy that politicians are behind the Navy. Navy says it's fully prepared to take over the sea in Somaliland. And in Somalia, preparations for a Million March on Thursday in Mogadishu. Can these marches force Ethiopia to rescind the MOU? Can this march force the Somaliland government to rescind the MOU? Well, Somaliland has been promised recognition. For decades, this self-declared country has been fighting, has been struggling for recognition. No one recognized Somaliland. Somaliland offered land to US, offered military base to US, but no one agreed. For the first time, Somaliland is seeing a real chance of its recognition by other countries. Somaliland won't withdraw. That is how I see the situation. Ethiopia, will it withdraw? So far, no signs. PM Abiy wants to prove that he has done some extraordinary things for Ethiopia. And he believes that he is correcting the mistakes made by past rulers. And he's bringing about revolutionary, groundbreaking changes in Ethiopia. He has upped the ante so much that it is very difficult for him to withdraw. The implementation could be prolonged. But Ethiopia won't rescind the deal, the MOU, it seems. By the way, in Somalia, Al Shabaab still a force to reckon with, in control of large territories. And today, a UN helicopter was taken over by Al Shabaab. Uh, People say it landed by mistake in Al Shabaab controlled territories, but some others say that the helicopter was hit, but it managed to land safely where it was taken over, captured by Al Shabaab fighters. Helicopter was carrying weapons for Somalia's forces. And today, an IED was detonated by Somali police in Mogadishu, capital. And on Thursday, a protest is going to be held in Mogadishu called Million March. The security situation internally in Somalia is not conducive to any major military offensive against Ethiopia or against Somaliland. But Al Shabaab is, it seems, Al Shabaab might give a respite to the security forces if security forces decide to take on Ethiopia. And can a million march be organized in Mogadishu where Al Shabaab carried out several attacks? They can hit any part of Somalia. They can hit presidential palace. They can hit parliament. But million march be planned. Why? Because Al Shabaab is also opposing the MOU between Ethiopia and Somalia. We'll update you tomorrow about this million march from Mogadishu. Thank you for watching.